Gareth Bale soared higher than almost anyone in football, only to be grounded by the very club that paid a world record fee for him. How can someone so good, so clutch and so unplayable still be hated by his own fans? As someone who paints iconic footballers for a living, I'm fascinated how raw talent like Gareth Bale's is perceived. I am a Liverpool fan, and what Gareth Bale did to us in the 2018 Champions League final, it still hurts to this day. But even in that moment, I could not deny it. Gareth Bale was something different. And in this video, we're going to take a look at how someone so good could be so hated by his own fans, and why that may be the case. Gareth Bale didn't start as a star in football. At Southampton, he was a promising left-back. The player who went on to cut football teams in half is the same player that started with a decent left foot and was only good at free kicks. He evolved very quickly in the Premier League. His pace was absolutely terrifying for defenders, and his movement was chaos in motion. His most famous appearance in a Tottenham shirt is one that most of us remember, when he completely embarrassed Maicon against Inter Milan. Two almost identical goals in the same game, which put the world on notice. And that game wasn't just a performance from Gareth Bale. I felt like it was more of an announcement on the world stage, and football listened. Real Madrid then came in and paid €100 million for Gareth Bale. I think that was the highest transfer fee at the time. And they done that to be Cristiano Ronaldo's sidekick, a Galactico 2.0, if you will. But like all big transfers, the moment he landed in Madrid, the story wasn't as it should be. And let's be clear before we get into this, Gareth Bale delivered on every single level and in every single metric you could think of delivering as a football player. In the 2014 Copa del Rey final, he literally ran off the pitch and back onto the pitch to score the winner, sprinting past defenders like they just didn't even exist. In the Champions League final the same year, he scored in extra time to get Madrid the win. And then 4 years later, in my nightmare game, he scored the best goal I have ever seen with my own eyes. A bicycle kick from almost outside of the box against Liverpool in a Champions League final. I was completely devastated. Liverpool were completely devastated. But at the same time, I could not look away. And as an artist, I've recreated that goal, which I'll show you at the end of the video. But in that moment, I knew that Gareth Bale wasn't just any player. He was a disruptor, and he didn't just play football, he shocked it to its core. But usually that's where the story should have peaked. At that point, he'd done almost everything in football except for win a World Cup. But instead, that's sort of where the story starts to fall apart. Injuries then crept in. The Spanish media, of course, jumped all over that. And the fans started to boo him, rightly or wrongly, even at times after he scored. And the weirdest part about it all is that he wasn't a bad player. Between 2014 and 2018, Gareth Bale was involved in crucial goals for Real Madrid, which won them Champions Leagues and domestic cups and league titles. And yet, he was never truly embraced like the other players were from that era. But the question is, why? Was it because he didn't completely connect to the Spanish culture? Was it because he didn't learn Spanish fluently? Or maybe it was because he didn't need Real Madrid fans' love to do what he needed to do. Gareth Bale seemed happy to stay quiet off the pitch. He didn't seem to look for headlines. In fact, he actively avoided them. His personal life was private. Himself, he was stoic and sometimes even distant to the Spanish media. After games, he'd go home. In his spare time, he'd play golf. And then when he was on the pitch, he'd deliver again and again, like any ultimate professional should. But by now, the narrative had completely flipped. Gareth Bale didn't care. He was lazy, is what the media said. Gareth Bale didn't deserve to play for Real Madrid. And I think as a side note, there is a expectation from football fans in general, especially at big clubs like Real Madrid, Liverpool, Manchester United, and they want you to play for the badge. They want passion more than they want talent sometimes. It's a strange dynamic. It's something I talked about in the Michael Owen video that I released last week. And the expectation sometimes makes us want footballers to revel in the opportunity for playing for your amazing team. That's sort of what fans expect from players sometimes, which again could be right or could be wrong, but I think that might play a part in Gareth Bale's story as it did with Michael Owen and as it may do with Trent Alexander-Arnold. But let me ask you something. If someone wins you Champions Leagues and doesn't really do it while smiling, do you still cheer for them? If a player doesn't beg for your approval but then performs when it matters most, does that make him selfish, or does that just make him honest and good at his job? For me, Gareth Bale challenged the idea of what superstars in football should actually be. He didn't seem to want to be adored, he just wanted to be effective. But at Real Madrid, they don't want effective. They want passion, they want showmanship, and to some degree, they want obedience. They want another Ronaldo, another Zidane. And what they got was Gareth Bale. He was quiet, he was lethal, and he was unapologetic. He wasn't theirs in their eyes. He was his own man. And in his independence, Real Madrid fans found betrayal. As an artist, I create from emotion, sometimes from pain and sometimes from awe. That 2018 Champions League final was brutal for me to watch and even to remember. But that bicycle kick, for me, was something that, as a football fan first, I will never forget. The goal itself was almost too pure to hate, so I recreated it as a piece of artwork, like I do with many of those iconic moments in football. Not because I loved Gareth Bale or supported Real Madrid, but because greatness in those moments like that, I think, deserves to be remembered. This is the moment. Gareth Bale suspended in midair, Real Madrid fans about to explode into chaos, and Karius, of course, frozen. For me, one strike that summed up an entire career. Misunderstood brilliance. And even as a Liverpool fan, I knew that I'd seen something completely rare. And that's what Gareth Bale was. He was a rare footballer. Something that we'll never see again. So how can someone so good make Real Madrid, the biggest club in the world, hate them so much? Again, maybe it's because Gareth Bale didn't fit into their fantasy of what the perfect player is. The devoted Galactico. He didn't ask to be worshipped. He just simply did his job. And he'd done it to levels that many footballers will never even dream of reaching. He won them trophies, but then slipped off quietly to play 18 holes of golf. Again, he was never theirs. He was his own man. But let me know what you think in the comments. Why was Gareth Bale turned on by Real Madrid fans so quickly, even though his performance on the pitch was second to none? And in the end, Gareth Bale might not have been loved by Real Madrid, but he was completely unforgettable as a football player. And that, to me, is the greater legacy that he leaves behind. If you like this video, you might enjoy this video as well. And if you want to download this piece of artwork or any of my other artwork for free as a phone wallpaper, just hit the link in the description below to see the full collection. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, then feel free to subscribe.